Boom, boom, boom. We're back in the YouTube room.
Welcome back.
Anthony, Mark, Chad, with another episode of the New Cow Corner podcast. This is Sandia Cresties. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, sir.
Nope, you got it, man. That's
All
it.
right. That's what's up.
Sandia.
Welcome.
So let's
Cool. Yes, you said it right. So
start with it.
Go ahead.
Explain that to us if you don't mind. Since you said it,
Yeah.
where did the name come from?
yeah, and looking back at it now, I didn't think it would be that hard for people to say, but everyone thinks that my name is Sandy, so I think I did that wrong from the beginning. Everyone's like, "Hey, it's Sandy," and I'm like, yeah, I'll be a Sandy. That's fine.
Can I be
but no.
honest? When I saw when I look at your Instagram page, I'm like, oh, it's obviously a dude. When I was typing the name and I thought I had it wrong, I'm like, Sandy, I'm talking to a guy. This isn't a girl. I swear to God, I don't mean any disrespect by it, but I was super confused. I was like, what's going on? Maybe that's her husband? Maybe.
I know, and I after the fact, I picked that name in 2013. So Sandia, the Sandia mountain range is the mountain range that is right behind me where I live. So I live in New Mexico in the Southwest. So the Sandia mountain range is behind us, and that's where the name came from. It means watermelon, and it just stuck. However many years ago that was.
Has a meaning,
13
and it
years
means
ago.
something to you. Who the hell cares or says what? It has meaning to you. That's what's significant. Awesome.
No, yeah, totally. But my name is Chad. It's not Sandy, but I will respond to either. But yeah, so that's how it started, man. And yeah, I made that logo, in 2013, and it's still pretty. It's kind of archaic, a little outdated. I mean, that's it behind me. It's nothing fancy.
It's awesome.
But back in the day, man, I paid good money for somebody to make that, and
Sure.
it's funny the way the world is now. You can get on any AI platform and make anything for free, So I kind of kept it old school, but that's kind of where it came from.
It's you. It's your brand. You know what I'm saying? Stand
Exactly.
by. That's awesome. Separates you from the rest. Super cool.
Yep.
Nice story behind it. Sandia Mountains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it means watermelon, and if I can get to making watermelon colored geckos, I'm close. I think a lot of us are. That red lily stuff like that. I know there's some pink stuff out there, so maybe I should just specialize in that.
That would be interesting. Pink and green, like a pink and green. Why do my eyes are closed on this camera? Like a pink and green. Just out of curiosity, off topic. Do you guys use a separate camera, or are you using the camera on your computers?
I'm just using the one on my phone today.
Well, that's why yours looks good. What are you using, Mark? So yours looks like a movie.
So as I delve into my YouTube career, I decided to go with something maybe like a little 1080p Logitech.
Dude, why is my camera? I'm the only one on here that looks like I'm in the 80s. Like I'm talking to you guys back in the future. I'm sorry,
good.
Guys. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Oh, wow. What'd I do?
You got to go to the Best Buy.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm forget we're recording here. I'm still trying to set up the camera.
You can fix that quick. Go to the Best Buy website, type in search Logitech 1080p, and put buy now.
Well, because I'm at 720p on here. I thought I could change that to 4K. I pay good money for this thing. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
just use my phone. No, you're good.
Don't mind me,
No,
guys.
you're good.
Keep talking.
We can edit this. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, right. I'm not good at editing.
So Chad, how did you get into geckos? Explain that to us. How'd you get into it? How did Sandia evolve, get started?
How
did
long
you find
been
Crested
doing
geckos?
This?
Said 2013.
Yeah, so I started, oh man, I've been in probably like most people in this hobby, you guys included, I've been into reptiles, amphibians since I was alive, since I can remember. So I feel like that's a common start for everybody. But yeah, when I kind of delved into getting more serious about it was around 2006. That's when I started working with leopard geckos. So that's when I got into all the rack systems, learning about, the heat tape and all that stuff and how everything works with that. And I didn't know anything about crested geckos until I think I was on I think it was Pangea, because I think Pangea back in the day was like a buying and selling platform, if I remember correctly. And I was just browsing on there, and there was a local dude that was selling crested geckos, and I had never seen those. And I was like, man, what are those? And I started doing all my research, and they were captivating. So I got my first two crested geckos in 2007. I got two males.
Shit.
Yeah,
OG,
I
man.
didn't breed them. Obviously, they didn't live together, but I bought two of them, and I think I got both of them for like $40. So different time, you know. Didn't know anything about them and just kept them. And actually, Jack, I named him after Pantera. So one was named Dimebag Daryl, and another guy's name was Jack. But one I gave to my buddy, and that one just passed away last year. So that one was from
Wow.
2007 until, almost 20 years later, whatever it is. Um, and then, yeah, so 2013 rolls around, and that's kind of when I first started breeding crested geckos on a small scale. I think I had maybe 8 pairs. And everything back then was different too, right? Like when you're talking morphs and traits and lines and all that stuff, it was, man, if you had full pinstripe stuff, you were killing it, you know? And Dalmatians were kind of starting to get bigger back then. So I look back at kind of the old photos, and it was interesting to see what I thought was the bee's knees back in the day. You know, it's like, man, like I was selling stuff for, I thought, a good price back then, and now it'd be, $50 Petco special if I'm lucky. But yeah, so 2013, I had a good run until 2017, and then I had both my kiddos back to back. Um, And my wife said, you can't have a lizard room anymore because we need it for human beings, you know? So both of my guest bedrooms got taken up by my daughters, which was the best thing ever.
Bless you. Absolutely. God bless.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, absolutely. You know, while I was salty at the time, it all worked out. And then I just jumped back in it about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. So I took a break from 2017 until, yeah, 3 years ago.
Well, you
And
don't forget what you learned, you know?
no, man, it's like riding a bike, minus everything getting better and more beautiful and more
Sure.
captivating and expensive. You know, it's
Sure. Probably better
and
off hopping
yeah,
in that much longer, you know? You got to see the
yeah,
true evolution, you know? It's
yep,
something a lot of people can't say for, man.
yeah,
2007, dude. That's
yeah,
huge. I could only name maybe a handful of people literally that have had them since then. That's amazing. That's cool. Very
yeah.
cool.
And I never anticipated breeding them, but kind of like everything in this hobby,
Yeah.
you what can I make? You know,
Dude, that's kind of how
um,
it happened with me. I had a pets. I didn't even know how to tell sexes. I was breeding frogs and stuff. I had hundreds of
right?
frogs. And I had this enclosure, and I just had them in there. They were just pets, you know. Took my stepdaughter to a reptile show. She fell in love with eyelash geckos. Blah blah
Oh
blah blah
yeah,
blah. Month goes by, she don't want them anymore. I threw them in an enclosure in the living room. One day I'm watching TV and I seen this little salamander thing run across the glass. I was like, "What the hell was that?" They had babies. I'm like, oh shit. So I started looking
oh
into it.
man,
I kept geckos for a good 3 years, Chad, before I ever knew there was a gecko community like this. I had
yep,
no idea, absolutely
right,
oblivious to this whole world, no clue. And I kept them for 3 years. I was learning information off of Google searches and that was it. I had no idea
yep,
that this existed, man. And
yeah.
man, I don't know
No,
why.
likewise. Yeah, no, likewise. It was kind of the same thing. I made like best friends with one of the reptile guys at the local pet store, and that's kind of how the door opened. And then we kind of made a deal. I was like, "Hey, I'll produce all your crested geckos for you if you trade me for dog food." And like
Sweet.
that's kind of how I really didn't have any intention on making a lot of money, nothing like that. And back then, I had dude dog free dog food. I mean, that was a
That's
fair
huge.
trade.
That's huge
You know,
now.
I was like, I'll bring in a couple geckos every month, and we're good to go. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how it evolved. And now, man, I think what was lacking back then too was the community aspect of everything.
You had like
And being in,
flora,
yeah,
fauna classified.
flora fauna. Yep, exactly. Yeah, Craigslist, Pangea. I think it was King Snake. There was a few kind of old school websites that I don't even know if I
Yeah, I
obviously
grabbed one off of
Pangea.
Craigslist too, man. Again, before I
Yep,
knew there was like real breeders, I bought one.
totally. Yeah,
40 bucks,
and
40 bucks, just like you, 40 bucks off of Craigslist.
yep,
Little red
yep,
phantom, salt scale red phantom.
yep, yeah. There was no
They
Palm
still sell
Street.
them.
No, there definitely wasn't. I
No,
remember when that happened though, and then when this guy Darian bought it, who owned it before him? It was I'm not being biased. I
not sure.
it was different, very different when the other guy owned it. It was
But yeah, man. So now here we are. Like everything I do, I jump all in. I don't
I
really
was
dip
just gonna
my
say, it seemed like
toes.
an all-in type of dude. Yeah.
Man, yeah, it's good and bad. So 2.5 years back in it, and I'm back in it. But the best part, man, is this stuff because I've never had that. I was always like a lone wolf. I still kind of am. I'm slowly kind of branching out and getting my feet wet. Mark, I know he let me jump on one of his Palm Streets just for a few minutes to say what's up and talk a little bit, and
It's awesome. You
just
deserve
kind
it,
of
dude.
yeah, dude, just kind of get used to doing it. It's I
Technology,
do.
like you said, dude,
It's
it's easier
technology.
today to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
yourself out there, man. If you use it as a branding tool, a marketing tool, it's super handy. Getting on here, just hopping on here. Like I said, talking to people like we're at a show. You're meeting potential customers and friends and business situations. I mean, this is great for a lot of things. And
dude,
again, in
absolutely.
2007, you have some knowledge that a lot of people won't have. You saw animals in their very pure form, before there was consistency with pinstripes. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
huge.
yeah, man, yeah. Partial pins were that was a big deal. Like just a lot of your kind of standard buckskin looking, yellowish, tannish, almost like first generation stuff from the islands. Like
Sure,
I know it was a
probably
few
was.
years later than that, probably 10 years or longer. Um, but nothing crazy. Tigers a little bit, and now the tiger game's blowing up, and that stuff's getting crazy. But yeah, so it's good to be back in it, man, and I really do appreciate you guys for doing this and letting me hop on. So
Absolutely, man. We
it's
appreciate you. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have this show if it
Yeah.
weren't for you guys.
yeah, no, for
Mark's
sure.
great at finding guests that not that you don't have enough attention or a big audience, but Mark is
I
very good
don't
at
really.
finding worthy.
Yeah,
Yeah, not that anyone's not worthy, but Mark has a gift at finding people that should be exposed to the hobby. There's a
sure.
lot of
No,
people out there,
that's
and I
great.
hate to say it, and I don't want to sound like an asshole. Excuse my language. Well, don't excuse my
There
language because
is.
I'm being completely honest. There's a lot of people that get the spotlight that shouldn't, if you want my opinion. You know,
Sure.
they don't
Yeah,
practice what they preach. Super controversial with a lot of topics, and it's like the hobby is so much more than five big names. Like, take away those five big
dude,
names, and I hate to burst anyone's bubble. The hobby still exists. It's all the little guys out there to make this go round, And big guys,
totally.
they should be very humbled that they have all these other people that do this. Without all the other people, they wouldn't be the big guys.
Yep. No, absolutely. Yeah, and it's getting back into it. I've obviously found a bunch of new people, you guys included, right? And some of the, I guess if you want to call them smaller, I don't know, just maybe on a numbers scale, right? Like they don't have 8,000 animals. I don't know.
Mm,
They've got 8 pairs, and it's every single animal is absolutely
that's an awesome.
incredible,
I was gonna
and
say
it's
that's an
like
awesome breeder
yeah,
right there. If
and
they're working with eight
totally,
pairs and hyper
yeah,
focused on them, I assure you they're probably doing some serious shit.
absolutely, yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to in this hobby too is what you want to get out of it, what you want to be, and maybe a problem with the saturation that you're kind of talking about, which dude, there's a lot of people, right? Like is I think maybe they have this false image that they see on whatever streaming platforms or on interviews or whatever that hey, I can jump in and do this too and get to 4, 5, 6, 7,000 animals, whatever, without having any recollection of what that entails. I mean, you could start with
God
five
forbid.
pair
Can you
five
imagine?
pairings,
Oh,
and
fuck.
if you're not used to doing this stuff every day and have everything dialed in, all your systems, making your life easier, you're not going to last long. And I think that's why there's just constant turnout all the time is people just
Yeah,
have
it looks super easy on social
totally.
media.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
easy
And
on social media. People don't know what goes on behind the
dude,
scenes.
yeah. And we glorify it, like I spent all morning, the first few hours just dusting and feeding crickets and spot cleaning and washing. I mean, it's just, but to me, that's like the best part of this hobby. But, if you don't enjoy any of that, you're not going to enjoy selling, you're not going to enjoy producing because that's like maybe 5% of what we do.
Sure, sure.
And then you hope that everything is good and that people like it and that you have a way to sell them to good people. And I mean, dude, there's so much that goes into it and just
Absolutely.
the mundane every day. If you're not in love with doing that, I wouldn't even consider this, man, because this is a marathon. It's not a 1 year stint. It's not a, if you look at the people that have done it forever and have beautiful stuff, I mean, they're 2 decades. In or longer. So I think people just need to understand that. Um, I don't know how I got on that topic, but
And not welcoming, right?
yeah,
Like we all probably would love the hobby to continue to grow. We would just suggest that you pay attention and really understand what's involved. We don't need to just be producing animals to produce animals, right? Like we don't need that, and but there's room with these animals. There's so many things that you can do that in theory we could all breed these animals and have a different project, a different idea, a different vision, and different productions. I mean, it's literally a palette of things, infinite things people can do. But again, like you were saying, and we were saying, it's not easy. It's not easy,
no,
to do it right. We you gotta clean, you gotta feed, you gotta pay attention to these animals. I often wonder, how do these people without a full staff, how do you have 8,000 animals? How do you have
dude,
8,000 animals? We have
I
300, and
don't
it's
know.
literally a full-time job.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah. Unless, you're to that level, which I think there are a handful of individuals that do have staff and employees and all that stuff. And then again, do you want to do that? I don't think the vast majority of people can or have the ability to do that. I know I don't right now. I would love to in my mind, right? I play that game all the time. I'm like, man, I would just love to just work with these animals and make a living doing that. And maybe at some point, I don't know, who knows? But right now, man, I got mouths to feed and family to take care of, and just like everybody else. But yeah, it just takes a lot, man. And
How
I
big is
think
your collection, if you don't mind me asking? We didn't say. If you don't mind,
yeah,
some people
no,
don't.
no. So I think for going into this season, I'm right around 200.
Sweet.
So not huge. My
Perfect.
goal is 10 to 12 pairs. I also want to keep this doable on a level that
How
I
old are
love
the girls?
doing.
How old are the girls?
They're
Can you help me?
yeah. So they're eight
Sweet,
and seven.
sweet,
They're
sweet.
8 and 7. And that was another reason I love working with these species because, dude, like new cow stuff, most of them minus some of the chewies and leachianas, stuff like that, kind of freak them out just because they're a little bigger.
Yeah,
But
they'll
dude,
learn. They'll
everybody
grow.
could,
Doing it
yeah,
right. That's awesome.
Let me ask you a
and,
question.
yeah.
As from when you started till now, do you feel that every year it gets easier or it gets harder?
Oh man, I would say it gets easier, at least for me, in terms of dialing in what works and what doesn't. Um, I think, at least for me, it took a little bit to understand, to work smarter, not harder, to figure out ways of doing everything that make my life easier in regards to cleaning or just keeping them enclosures, humidity, all of that stuff. So I think I've got that dialed down to a T, at least in my environment. Obviously, being in the Southwest is going to be completely different, dude, from Florida or New York or where you guys at. It's 9% humidity, 90% of the year.
That's where I was getting at. I know you
Yeah.
recently you even built your own little reptile house, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I built,
Yeah.
yeah, the casita. I don't know what to
The
call it.
casita.
Yeah, the casita. That's a big word here in where I live. Yeah, just like I guess I can, put my mom in there when she gets old. And maybe she'll help spray. I don't know, but yeah, I do. But that's yeah, exactly. So I guess being able to do those things now, to build specific spaces, right, for what I need. It's becoming easier that way for sure because I'm getting older. God bless, dude. I've been able to do okay in life, knock on wood. Hopefully that continues, and like be able to create spaces that make the lives better for the animals. It makes it easier for me. So like I'm not cramming, and nothing against anybody doing this, but like filling, my daughter's rooms with gecko enclosures and putting them in the closets and do what you got to do, I guess. But like now, like I want a designated space for where I work with these animals. That's humid control, temperature controlled, backup generators, all of these things, right? Like and they can serve another purpose down the road, right? If I want to turn it into something else, I can. But so yeah, to answer your question, it's getting easier that way. I think it's getting harder uh, just when it comes to the numbers. I don't know where I want to stay to keep it manageable. I don't want to turn into anybody that just mass produces to mass produce and I just have all this stuff, like I want to do a good job at producing things that I love, that look great to me, that captivate me, that I want to work with and make better. Um, and that I'm not worried about selling or rehoming, throughout the year. I don't want to get stacked, man, with 3,000 animals, and 80% of them are just stuff that I didn't even know I wanted to work with. And here we are. So I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to get rid of certain things just to keep things manageable. So it's getting harder for me that way. I don't know how you feel um, on just like, what do I stick with? What do I focus on without just accumulating and stacking all the time?
Yeah. Um, are you finding how many seasons have you been breeding now?
So just being back in it, this is my third total. This would be my, I guess, seventh or eighth.
Okay, so 8 seasons. Do you find that every season you're producing everything that you want to keep, or you have like a range of? You're not, right? I'm
No,
asking these questions because
sure,
for the beginners that are watching this, they're seeing, they're hearing you say, "Hey, it's getting easier as far as certain things, but it's also getting harder." You know, we're talking about mass producing animals, and we don't want to be there and stuff like that. I want them to hear like you're going through every season, and not everything is something that you want to keep in your
totally.
projects and stuff like that, so that people are aware, because you get that stigma of, oh, I spend this on this gecko and I spend this on this gecko and I'm going to produce all the best geckos.
Yep, yep,
So that's one thing I said I was going to start asking people, so that they can see, people can see it's not all cupcakes and sprinkles
nope,
you know
no, absolutely, yeah. To piggyback off of that, not even close, man. I don't know what the percentage would be. Maybe 10% on maybe a good year is like they pop out and it's exactly what I wanted. You know what I mean? Um, and then the rest are close or they're variations, and then there's a good chunk where it's like, oh man, I didn't even know that came from that pairing. Um, which is part of this game, with genetics and all that stuff. We're starting to narrow it down and get better at it. I think as things evolve, especially with this species. Back in the day, I felt like way more of a crapshoot, dude. Like it was just like these both look cool. I don't know. Like, let's see what happens, But now I think we can have a pretty good path, or you should, at figuring out what do you want to make. Do you want phantoms? Do you want lilies? Do you want caps? Do you want, like the stuff that I'm working with? You said I'm getting into all the dark stuff, and I guess I am kind of inadvertently, but that's just I didn't have that stuff back, when I first started doing this, and now I find it amazing. But like that one I just posted maybe 2 days ago or whatever it was, like that was the one out of I think maybe two or three of my dark empty back projects that looks like that. You know what I mean? Like there are a couple that are close, but like that's the home run. So like I'll keep that one, you know. But yes, so like for everybody else out there looking or thinking about it, like just know like you got to have an outlet, you know, you got to be valuable enough to sell these animals to good homes. And I think that's kind of what we're all trying to do here is just become more valuable, dude, in this marketplace, you know. And I think you can say that with anything in life is the people that do well in anything, um, you know, outside of this hobby and in this hobby, they've just become really valuable within it, you know, whatever that means, whether it comes down to education or their animals are amazing and they're super responsive, just creating value, man. And that's I think what is hard to do and it takes forever. And that's why I'm glad you guys are doing this stuff, you know, because there needs to be a valuable community that backs each other up, that builds each other up, that has each other's back all the time, that we can lean on if I have questions and you don't feel like an idiot, you know, talking to somebody and they're not going to make you feel that way. Um, Knock on wood, most people that I've encountered in this hobby are not that way. But like any industry, man, there are
Your circle, you know, if you pick your
yeah,
circle wisely, you'll avoid it, you know.
100%.
Most
And they
people
pop
have a
out of the
tendency to
woodworks,
stick
dude.
together, and it's terrible for the new people because when the new people come in, they I don't know what reason it is, but they go to those Facebook groups and they're almost instantly negative, like very,
Yeah,
you know, one of the things that kills me, and I'm not trying to steal the spotlight here, but when you read those comments like don't breed, you shouldn't breed this, you shouldn't breed that, like it drives me nuts when I see people say that, like they'll show an animal off and don't breed it, and maybe they shouldn't, but you know what, they got to learn, they got to learn.
yeah,
So
yeah,
may not be producing the most desirable animals, but producing animals like that, they're going to learn a lot of shit. They're going to learn, one, it's not easy to get rid of crap. Two, they're going to learn how to incubate, how to feed, how to supplement, breeding females. They're going to learn so much that encourage them. Shouldn't say don't breed. What you should say is make sure you give them extra calcium, make sure you give them a lay box, make sure, give them some advice instead of telling them to not do something. Who the hell tells people not to do something? It's not like you're telling them to don't run across a highway, don't jump off a bridge. I mean, they're
right.
learning. Let them
Yeah,
learn. They'll do, tell them there's better animals. You may want to look for other things or maybe look for a different pairing if you have the means. But damn, who the hell are any of us to tell anyone else not to do something?
right. No, it's very true. I don't, and maybe this is a good or a bad thing, but yeah, I'm not a part of any of those groups.
That's not at
My
all.
Facebook is archaic, dude. I forgot that I still had it. I do have the Sandia, but I use mainly Instagram now. But yeah, I'm not a part of any of that, man, because it's just noise. It's just noise. And if you want advice, if you want, you know, to learn something from somebody who has experience, there are so many good people that you can ask. You don't need to post. You're setting yourself up for an absolute disaster. You're just opening the door to garbage, man. And that's what it is. You know, it's a free reign for all these people out there to post their opinions, and 99.9% of them don't know anything about anything. So I stay out of all of that. So that could be why my presence isn't as big as it is, but I'm good with that. I'm trying to just surround myself, man, with people that make my life better. I'm in that phase of life that I do that with everything, but especially this stuff. I didn't get into doing this, you know, back in the day or now. To be a part of any type of negativity or like, dude, I got enough life going on. Like this is my happy spot. This is my happy place all the time, bro. Like when I'm cleaning substrate, when I'm feeding these things, when I'm cleaning poop and dishes, like I got a smile on my face. I got a podcast on. I got my music going and my Bustelo. Like, dude,
Hey,
like like this
hello.
is a this is this is a place for me to be happy, and why it isn't for everybody else, I don't know. Maybe you should do something else. But yeah, this is my happy place, man. And people pop up and try and bring you down. That's cool, but like,
It,
man, I'm
it's
just gonna
it's
keep
just
jamming.
as long as you have that understanding, man. The I have an understanding of it's it becomes very competitive, and competition draws these type of individuals. You know, it's just like with every other sport. With sports or with gambling or whatever, you can go to a casino, sit down at a poker table, and you have the one person that is constantly gambling, yelling and screaming, and then you have the other person who's smoking a cigar, taking a shot, and loses money, wins money. You don't hear a word from him. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
same thing in sports. You got the person in the stands yelling and screaming, ah, and you got the person sitting there just eating the popcorn. Like, they both love what they're doing. Some people react different. You just gotta
yeah,
don't
no,
look.
totally, man. And that's a good analogy, the gambling one. I like that. And I guess it's fair to analyze that everybody that does this might be doing it at a different level and for different reasons, right? Like I am not the top five whatever of doing this. That's not what I'm doing, right? Like, am I trying to get there? I don't know. I'm doing it because I love doing it. And I like creating beautiful animals and finding them homes and meeting people that also enjoy this, But with that being said, I'm sure there are people, I know there are, that this is what they do every day, right? So, like, could that be threatening with all these people just jumping in and producing stuff and flooding the market and for the people that make a living doing this? Yeah, totally. And I understand that. I get it, and that's definitely not my intention at all. I'm way down on the the totem pole to make a dent in those people's lives, but I see what you mean. The higher they climb, it's probably more anxiety producing, and it is a numbers game, and I guess it just depends on what you want to do. For me, it's just, man, I love camaraderie. I love good groups of people. Like, that's how I grew up, man. Like, in sports, I was in public safety for a long time. I was a firefighter, so, like, dude, that's like all we have is each other. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's what made that job worth doing. Like, that's why I went on shift 48 hours at a time. Like, not because I enjoyed all the garbage that this city gave me. It was like, no, it's who you do it with. And I wish there was more of that, and I think that we're all trying to get there. At least I am. And yeah, so I understand what
I
you're saying, but
I think there's a large group. I think there's a larger group of people with the same mindset than there is negative. I honestly do believe that, and I feel on different levels there's room for everybody. I'm one to not think that the market is saturated. I don't think the market is saturated. I don't feel like the market is saturated. I feel that's what would you call that? Like a myth, a myth that's spread like a
sure.
cancer. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like that's a myth that's spread like a cancer. I don't see it for myself. But I also, I'm like you. I play my lane and I'm at my level and I'm doing what I'm doing. So for me, I think it's not, but for others it may be. Um what can I say?
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah. Yeah.
um let me ask you something, Chad. When you were doing your building and you setting everything up, it was there anything? I feel like you have to have some. First of all, where are you located at?
I'm in
Sandia,
New
New
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just outside of Albuquerque. Yeah, I live in a small farming village, just outside of the city. Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything very important that you learned in building that maybe
Mm.
you could share some tips with anybody?
Oh man. Yes, I reflect back on that. Um, I think I would have gone bigger. Which is,
Hey.
yeah, I know, dude. Yeah. So I did. It was a 16 by 14, which honestly is pretty big, man. Like, it's not bad, but and not necessarily bigger for space for animals, but space for me. Because did you know, you guys know how it is when you're in smaller spaces and everything is stacked up and you're walking around, you're cleaning, it just gets, I wouldn't mind just even an extra 50 square feet, you know? So I probably would have gone a little bigger. I'm not telling people to do that. Um, and that, I think, backup energy, if you live in a place that is volatile when it comes to that stuff, like Florida, I don't know how Florida is. I have probably a very cliche view of Florida. It's wet, and the power goes out all the time. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I have no idea. New Mexico, it's hot, dude. It's hot and dry. We do get all 4 seasons. So like it gets 10 degrees in the winter and 100 in the summer, right? Like we get a big spread. We're at high elevation. So I would have made it bigger. I probably would have splurged on better equipment in regards to mini splits. I think that is worth every penny when it comes to heating and cooling. If it's double the price, I would just tell somebody to do it. If you're looking at a $500 unit or 1,000 or whatever the price difference is, I would just do the better one. Um, so just stuff that I learned, right? Like, and I didn't really know, and it's not cheap to do unless you're super super handy. I did a lot of it, but like you got to subcontract stuff out if you're doing drywall, electrical, if you want plumbing, all that stuff. There's things to consider, and it's not cheap. So this hobby can be as bougie as you want it to be. If you want to keep it in your guest's bedroom, do it. Like all good. I've done that too, and I still do. I'm always moving stuff in and out, but I think I would have gone a little better on the heating and cooling system, and then backup energy. I would have probably got a Generac system right away while I was doing it.
So so let's touch on that heating cooling system. That interests me.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
So I don't know if I should throw brand names out there. I mean, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but no, like
Yeah.
the lower lower end.
Throw them out there. Stay away from some of these mini splits, guys.
No, oh man, no,
What
and
do
like
you have, Mark? What do you have one too, right? Didn't you just put one in?
That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
I have a Daiki. It's a you know what I'm talking about, right?
I
yeah,
installed
yeah.
a few of them from work. I installed the Mitsubishi, and
Yep, all day.
the last one I put in was GE, I believe. So I installed a few of them, and they all seem to work. I don't know, I
You've
obviously have lived with
installed
them and
them,
know
and
how
you
good they are
made
for
me pay.
longevity. Yeah,
Bro,
I
you
did
could have
and hooked up the compressors and ran all the cables to the junction box and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, I
bro,
did the same thing. But yeah, like the Amazon specials.
I didn't even know they sold
If
them
you
on
know.
there. No shit.
Oh
You can
yeah.
buy mini split on
oh,
Amazon, really?
they sell them
Oh
every
yeah.
freaking where.
Dude, you can get them at Costco. You can get them at Sam's Club.
Yeah,
Really? And
yeah.
people are just supposed to. How do people hook them up? Like these things, the ones I'm talking about, the ones that are half in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
out.
Mini the
People
mini
just
Yeah.
really just
they
know how to
sell
hook
them.
those up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get them everywhere.
But then you got to pay somebody to install them.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you don't know,
They sell them. You're just making it sound like they sell them like anyone could install them, like pop them in a window like an AC. This is a
Right.
pretty
No.
in-depth job.
let me tell you something. I had
to run the wire.
I had somebody tell me, bro, just pop a hole in the wall and push it right through. Like people.
Yeah, dude, that'll work.
It's
It might work.
I mean, there's a lot of shit involved in putting them in. I'm not saying it's a completely impossible job, but I just think it's a little more involved than your regular gecko breeder is going to hook up a mini split. I mean,
yeah. No, I had connections. Like I had people come and do the electrical for me. It wasn't super crazy.
You got to have a disconnect.
Yeah. Like there's I mean, if you do it right.
I'm leaning more towards like, so what was the issues? Like what you got, your BTUs was too little. You're having issues because it's sucking out the humidity. So how do you like, what do you know, what's going on over there?
Yeah, the first one I got was too small. It worked, but when we were in the super heat of the summers, that thing was stressing. And another thing too is, man, like utility bills, stuff like that, man, when you're cranking mini splits all the time, and I have some in my house too, I have 4 in my house, so it's like you're just, and that thing was constantly running, which is fine, but I think I would have gotten too much power. I should have gotten too much oomph, if that makes sense. Instead of being like, oh, I'll get the smaller one and it'll be fine. Just get more than you need. And that's just me speaking. But yeah, like Mitsubishi, kind of those bigger name brands are, at least in my experience, would have worked really well. The Amazon specials, dude, the sale, I think the first one I got was like $299, and I was like, oh, cheap, man, like easy, and it worked for a little bit, and then it just started stressing out, and so I just replaced it with something better. So if you're going to do something like that, a custom build or convert your garage or whatever, you don't have to build an outbuilding. But if you want to just convert something, just do it right, spend that extra money, get good digital monitoring systems. Um, if you have a building outside of your main home, that's one thing I can really strongly suggest. So I had all the apps with all of the heating and cooling systems with my humidifier. So like it was a tight ship. So if something wasn't working, I knew within 10 minutes. That way it's like, oh, the mini split took a dump over the night and it was 110 and I didn't go out until the end of the day, right? And it's like, well, I just lost however many animals, right? So like just invest in good tech. We're in the world where it's available to us. Just get it. You
You get
know
pretty
everything
cold out
instantly.
there, don't you? New
It
Mexico, you get
does.
pretty
Yeah.
cold.
Yep.
Yeah, you got pretty
Yeah.
extreme. You get pretty hot, obviously. You guys have, that's one of those gnarly geographical locations in this
It
country that have
is.
crazy temperature swings.
Yeah, man, I think we have a misconception. It's like I live in the desert, which I guess I kind of do, but we're at 6,000 feet. So it's like
I've
we're in
seen
the
snow in
mountains,
New
you
Mexico,
know?
man. I've seen
Oh, yeah.
snow. Yeah. My buddy
Yep.
drives a truck. He posted some pictures of New Mexico. There was
Nice.
snow there not long ago. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But so depending on where you live, I don't know what'll work for you. In the dry, arid climates, I've got it dialed in. I need humidity all the time. Florida, you're probably trying to get rid of it. I don't know.
So you running humidifiers too? Did I miss
Yeah,
that?
so I do. Yeah, I keep. So I don't keep my room super high. I'd say my ambient is typically around 50 to 60,
Really?
somewhere in there. But because I spray every day, I
Yeah.
have to.
Sure.
Um, so obviously the humidity level in those microclimates, people always think bigger picture. It's like, oh, it's only 50% humidity in your room. I'm like, yeah, well, you got to think of a gecko that's this big living in a in a 12 by 12 by 18 or whatever, and I miss them every day, so
Have their
it
own
stays higher. Yeah, it
levels,
stays
their own room,
higher.
just a buffer. We're just buffing what's going on. Just because your room is
Exactly.
70 does not mean that enclosure is. I mean, we got a lot going on, unless you have a screen cage. But you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
People, you're absolutely right. People fail to recognize that. Your
Yeah, you
room
have to think
temperature and
small.
your room humidity, your room parameters are not what the enclosures are. They give you a
Totally. Yeah.
better chance in a more stable environment to
Right,
control
right.
them, but that doesn't mean your parameters are the same in those enclosures. It's awesome that you know that. I mean, not that I would think you wouldn't know, but a lot of people don't know that basic
No, no.
knowledge.
Yeah, and it's stuff that I learned too, right? Like I feel like when I first got into this hobby, I was
Hard way.
I was I was constantly overspraying, and maybe that's because of where I lived and the misconception. This was years and years ago, that I always thought that they had to be wet. You know what I mean? Like I'm like these crested geckos got to be soaking wet, man. Like they got they gotta be in like a swamp, and it's not accurate. You can even just download the weather app, dude, for NewCal, right? I have it on my phone all the time. Like, dude, there are times where it's 56 degrees there, and the humidity drops and it gets cool, and they have dry out periods. It doesn't rain for 2 weeks, like there's things. So, but these are all things that I just learned. Like you
There's
start
also
getting mold
times
issues.
that it gets up to 100 degrees there.
Awesome that,
Yep.
yeah, awesome
Yep.
both of you. Awesome that both of you reference New Caledonia. Is that's like one of my biggest quarrels with this hobby again is, to me, in my eyes, New Caledonia, I don't care what the next breeder is doing. Like you were saying, everybody has their own methods of getting to these parameters. However, New Caledonia is our proxy. New Caledonia is what our goal should be, not Joe Schmo's gecko room. You know, we
Hey,
I mean gecko room. You know what I'm saying? Not you, but it doesn't matter what the next breeder's doing. You copying, like you were saying, basically, there's someone copying what you're doing in New Mexico, in Minnesota, is not going to give you the same results. Like that's
Right.
it's and that's what
Yep.
again I feel a lot of people are like, well, so and so does this and so does that. That's great, but what's New
Yep.
Caledonia doing? Not that you
Totally.
have to do daily what New Caledonia does daily, but again, you should be gauging everything you do off of New Caledonia, not the next breeder. And that's awesome that you do that and that you mention that. And with the technology today, it's so easy to just know what the temperatures are over there that I don't know why people don't. It's why
Right.
people
Yeah. Just
insist
look.
on doing what
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah. And I think that, and I've heard this a lot in the hobby, but like a lot of people have these set, everything has to be this all the time. Right. And that's okay. It obviously, maybe it works for them. That's great. But like,
It'd be nice if that's
I think, yeah. And like, I think temperature fluctuations within the normal limits and a bit of humidity fluctuations within those normal limits is a good thing. And once I
Absolutely.
started learning that, I haven't had shedding issues in years, right? Like I've dialed it down. It's like, man, these animals shed a lot better for me when they get a dry out period, right? When it's a little drier. And I'm not talking, I don't spray them for 6 weeks. No, like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm going to let it be a little bit drier for maybe 6 hours, right? Throughout the night or whatever. And once I learned that and I learned the cork bark, or I use cottonwood because there's cottonwood trees everywhere here. So I make my own
Cottonwood. Is
cork.
it a hardwood? I don't think I know what cottonwood
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Cottonwood trees. Yeah, and so I use all the bark from that, and then I sanitize that, make sure everything's good to go. But like, if they have the right fluctuation in the humidity, nothing drastic, and they have a good surface where they can rub their body on, right? Like, they're not going to have issues typically, at least with me. A lot of people, they just throw them in a whatever with fake plants, and there's nothing rigid in there to help
Kind
them
of
with the
oaky, kind of
process.
like an oak, kind of oak texture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
what are you
cool.
what are you utilizing for your substrate?
So for the majority of my breeders, I do paper towels, and I think Anthony, it was you that has a goat with that. So forgive me for using paper towels. And then I do have a section of 12-12-18s, which is just I wouldn't say it's fully bio, but just kind of like your eco earth coconut fiber play sand mixture with grates that allow stuff to kind of drop in the bottom with clean up crews on the bottom. But for me, the paper towel works great. I know that's probably not the best for, when people want to have beautiful bioactives or whatever, but for me, it works great. I don't have mold issues.
It's I use
Hey
paper
man, it's
towel.
a tree. It's made out of trees, bro.
Yeah, I use paper towels for my breeders,
Yeah.
so that way I don't have to look for eggs, because otherwise everything is on mulch. So, and they sometimes will lay eggs in the mulch, and
Yep.
so
Yeah.
when
They don't
when
always go
breeding
in the
season,
box.
they don't always go in the box. So when breeding
Yeah.
season, when they're off breeding season, I take the paper towel out and I use mulch.
Nice.
During breeding season, it's straight paper towel.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
So
Yeah. No, that's not a bad way to do it. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, so like my same thing. My breeders, and especially my hatchlings, I like them being on paper towels. I've just learned, at least with me, the simpler the setup with new geckos, the better. And I think that's another misconception because I've ran into it with people at shows or people that buy animals, is they'll get this 6 to 10 gram animal and they throw it in this ridiculous beast of an enclosure, and it's like, man, like I know it looks good and I know you want them in there, but give it some time to establish itself and to be healthy and to learn how to eat and to hunt and what its food is and all that stuff, because it can just be overwhelming for them. So I keep all my babies simple, paper towels, hard surface thing to get their shedding off, fake plants, water bowl, food bowl, some climbing stuff. But I've just ran into that where people we humanize everything, right? Like, because it looks good to us, like it's going to be fantastic for them because it looks good. Like we should free range our geckos, bro, in our backyard because there's trees and grass and you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, but they may not thrive. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a hard and I think a topic, a point of discussion and contention with people is that maybe people that don't do this often, they look at, you know, people that do it like us on a regular basis on a larger scale. And it's like, what are you doing? You know? And it's like, hey, that gigantic mesh screen, whatever that you're going to put on your backyard that looks beautiful, probably won't be the best for a crested gecko, even though it looks awesome, you know, like to us. You know, it's just like food. It smells good, so it must be good for them, right?
Sure.
Same thing. And it's like, well, you know, maybe, but you know, maybe there's other options. And I, yeah,
No, keep going. I might
no,
have
go
my
ahead.
next question because I'm curious about, that with your New Caledonia methods, if you will. How do you feed? Do you feed on a set schedule? Do you give them a little inconsistency? How and what are
Yeah,
you feeding? Seasonally, do you change anything? Walk us through and talk us through how you feed. I like your style, man. I'm actually
yeah.
loving it.
Yeah. I no, so when it comes to feeding, I am pretty regimented, and I think that's just because
It's your
of who
system. Yeah,
it's just like I have my daily routines with everything, and like this is where it falls, you know. Obviously there's a day where maybe I extend feeding diet by an additional day because I was out of town or whatever,
sure,
and I
sure,
think
sure.
that's fine. But yeah, so I do, and I think this is common for most people, like 3 days a week is diet and 1 day a week minimum is my live feeders. And I do crickets. I don't mess with roaches, anything like that. So, um, and I do rotate. I do vital meal. I've been on that train, which
Okay.
I actually, I've had good results, and I think it goes back to it doesn't smell good, and
Mm.
so I'm kind of a conspiratorial individual. So it's probably better for them. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't smell like Twinkies and blueberry cupcakes, you know. So I'm like, oh man, well, there's probably something in it that might be better. You know, I don't know. Um, but I mix that with Repashy. I do have my Pangea kicks and I think probably you guys feel the same, but I rotate quite often just because I don't know who's going to get it. And I've had that issue in the past too. Is when I was really one dimensional and I only fed one thing, and then I ship them or not ship them or sell them here or whatever, and then they're like, hey, it won't eat Repashy, and that's like the most common food everywhere. You go to Petco, right? What do they have? Repashy. You go to PetSmart, they have Repashy. So like to
Don't have
the
Pangea
normal
though.
person, no. So like to the normal person, so I started rotating that in a lot just because I feel like most people that aren't breeding, that's what they're going to get, you know. Um, and but I've had good results with all of those things. Sometimes there's a learning curve; they won't touch it for a week or two. Um, but they're animals, man. They won't starve themselves typically unless something's wrong with them, right? But I do have a constant rotation, and I think bugs is super important for these guys. Just from my experience, seeing animals that never get them and then ones that get them somewhat consistently, there's a big difference in just overall health, you know. And they just look better, they act better, they eat better when it comes to diet too. So, man, I'm getting sick of. I need to start a cricket farm, bro. We should talk about that. Maybe we start our own cricket facility, you know, because I'm like,
You
yeah,
need it, man. I go on and off, man. I've been doing it for years, breeding my
yeah.
own, man. And it's
Oh, have you
I'll tell you
really?
what,
Oh
God's
man.
honest truth, it didn't pay. It took like when you think feeding 200 geckos is hard, I was feeding
Oh,
300 geckos. The crickets were a whole day's job. I had to designate a
oh,
whole day
no.
to feed.
Yeah,
So, and I
right.
was doing it because I just wanted to control. I'm a control freak and I'm super calculated. I wanted to know everything that was going into my animals. And at the end of the day, when I started learning about the bug's gut process and how fast they actually process food
Right.
anyway, and the time it was taking me, I was like, dude, you know what? Buy like 6-week-old crickets, pump them full of everything you want, and fucking feed them off, man. Because it was literally a day designated to bugs when I was breeding them. Water changes if they get too dirty, they get sick and they'll die. If you have dead crickets in there, they eat each other and it
Yeah.
causes
Then
all
they
types of
stink.
acidic reflux crap going on with them, and they they'll like turn green almost, and they start stretching out, and they can't move their legs.
Oh
They need
gosh.
water,
Okay.
they need air flow. There's so much crap that can go wrong unless you need a steady supply of pinheads. It's so worth it to go buy them because I get them 1,000 for $24 sent to my door in 2 days. So
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
it just, to me, after all the years of breeding them, it's so much more efficient time wise and money wise to buy them and feed them, dude.
Totally. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I think I ship in, I don't know, I think I'm at 8 to 10,000 a month.
No shit.
And I think that's another thing, man, if we want to talk about, if people are considering doing this too, is at what scale do you get to where it's not feasible for you anymore, right? And then because of that, do you sacrifice the health and the longevity and the livelihood of the animal because you had a thought that you can have 5,000 animals and you're now spending $1,000 a month on crickets. So I think it's just stuff that people don't think about either until you start doing it, and you're like, man, like even at 200 animals, right? It's like, well, I'm still spending $300 a month on crickets, if not more, you know. And so just things to consider: how big you want to scale. It's going to reflect in your pocketbook. So just be wary of that because it's not fair to the animals or to the community if you get into this and you can't feed them. You know, I think it's just stuff to consider and stuff that I've learned along the way too. What's the right number, the sweet spot to where, okay, cool. I know if I sell one animal a month, maybe two, it just keeps me going in the cricket fund. I got accounts just for the crickets and the food, and I just dump money in there. And it's like that's kind of been my goal. I don't know how you guys are. You guys are on a bigger level, Mark. I know you are for sure. It's just like, man, yeah, like I just enjoy making enough to keep me going and to get me better, like maybe I'll hit a point to where I'll want to shoot for the stars, but it pays for itself and maybe a little extra, and I just hold on to it. And if I need a high end animal, then I use that.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I hate breeding crickets as well, just to
No.
piggyback off both of you. You had another question about his routine, you were saying?
Just the curiosity with the food and his feeding schedule, because I'm always, I do feed on a regimen too, but I believe that as far as New Caledonia and animals in the wild, I believe that famine and unconsistency is actually very natural and almost healthy in a sense, like
Oh yeah,
cell rejuvenation in humans when we fast. I mean, there's a
totally.
lot of science at how good fasting is for us and cell health and whatnot. And I mean, I don't trip out. Basically, like you said, if you miss a day, you don't freak out about it. So I kind of do the same thing. I have sections, and I'm like,
Sure.
I'm not going to do them today. I'll do this one today. So I'll feed one group early and one group late. But then it ultimately, gets back around to it.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, and
change by the season. I do the 3 times. Pretty much, let's say, starting from January to September, and then coming into September to December, I'll go down to 2 times because it gets cooler
yep,
and they tend to not
changes.
eat as much. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
So
their metabolism changes. I've noticed that a lot too in the cooler swings. And typically I'll usually feed a little less. I still feed, but my portions kind of reduce. But I've noticed that too, and maybe that's a good idea as well. Yeah, I mean, because those animals, man, they start eating more as it gets warmer. You can see it. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I think that's another good thing to dial in this hobby is how to reduce your waste. Man, that used to frustrate me, and it still does every now and then. I'll have my days, but I think learning what the perfect sweet spot is, right? Because man, there were times where I'm dumping, I don't know how many dollars worth of food, and it's just like, man, you're washing your cups, and you see
yeah,
your little washing machine going, dude, and it's like there's $60 in that washing machine right now.
I do that also. I do that also, especially when I'm around because my son feeds. But when I'm around and I could really get in there, I'll start looking at cups. And I feed Monday, Wednesday diet, and then Fridays is my live cricket feeding. Hey, I may say cancel feeding on Wednesday. I may say cancel feed. Nobody ate. We got 5 out of 10 ate. Cancel feeding on Wednesday, and we're gonna hit them with extra crickets on Friday. You know,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I
I like
manage
that.
it that way because sometimes, especially when you're doing it yourself is one thing, but when you have different people feeding,
Oh yeah.
the amount of food that's put in, the size of the cup, the consistency of the diet, I feel all of that comes into play. You know, thicker diet, they're gonna
Yep.
eat less of it. Watery
100%.
diet,
Yep.
they're gonna eat more of it, and
Yep.
it's like different
Yep.
size crickets. You know,
Yep.
um. So I
No,
like
that's a
to
good point.
like Anthony was saying, I like to play it by eye also because sometimes, yeah, you especially when you get on a large level, you're like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I gotta feed. Everything gets
Yep.
fed. But
Yep.
if you don't pay attention, now it comes to the point of we're wasting.
Yep. Yeah,
It-
dude, a lot. Yep. 100%.
that adds up, you know.
It does. Yeah. No, it's it's hard to flush it all down. It's like, oh gosh, man. But no, it's very true. Yep.
That's I also have a roach colony where I take a lot of the food and I mix that in with vegetables and stuff and let them eat that off. Um, but I have to be there because my wife is not going to do that. She's like, I'm
Oh, dude.
tossing this.
Yeah. No, I've gone down that road, man. The crickets, the live bugs. You got to do it delicately if you got a family. Yeah. That's kind of like one rule is like I don't want crickets all over the house. It's like
Oh yeah.
I'll do my best. And the thing here too is we have scorpions where I live, so
Ooh,
and they love crickets. So
they love those.
yeah, so it's like I used to keep them in my garage, and I learned that was a bad idea because we were just getting scorpions everywhere. So um,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
so now I got a different setup. I keep them up higher and but yeah, just things you learn, man. Like I said, where you live, I don't know. I don't know if you have scorpions running around in Florida.
We do. I
Yeah,
have gone hurt, but thank God. I mean, I've never seen them in my house. I
yeah,
did. You know what I was having that I so in my garage I have everything. I have 2 rooms. I have this room, I have my garage. At the air vents that they build in the cement at the bottom of the garages,
uh-huh,
right?
yeah.
So it has like it's like a square and it has like a screen. I never noticed one of them had like a hole in it and I couldn't
Eh,
see the hole. And I was all of a sudden um let's say maybe 3 4 years ago, I used to pay to get my house sprayed outside, and I had stopped that. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that no more. You be
yeah,
killing the lizards outside and all types of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I don't do that. Um, and I started noticing I'm getting these huge freaking like water bugs. The roaches that fly.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have those here, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I started getting those, and I've never had that. And I'm like,
Eh,
what the hell? Where are these coming from? And every year I take 2 weeks off from work, and I do a complete deep clean of the entire house, all the
yeah,
reptile cages, everything.
yeah.
And 2 years ago, I noticed when I moved my racks and everything away from that little hole, I saw 3 of them run and go into that hole. And I said, so I was getting those, but
Gotcha.
I foamed it up, fixed the
Nice.
screen, and I never got them again.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was
That's
becoming a
crazy.
problem. Yeah, that
Yep.
was
Yeah,
becoming a
it's
problem.
all those things you don't think about, like, all right, what eats crickets? Okay, yeah, spiders, yeah, scorpions, all these things, depending
Yeah,
on where you
yeah.
live.
Oh,
Um,
those daddy long legs,
yep.
they build up, man.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You
Yeah,
do
no,
you
that's
have
true.
do you have ant issues or fruit fly issues?
So, knock on wood, no. Yeah. Every now and then I'll notice some fruit flies, but when I've talked to other breeders, like I think in more humid climates, and it's like a big issue for them. I don't know if it's just the humidity. I'm not sure, but like every now and then, I'll notice maybe a few, but no, I don't get like the colonies that people talk about, where their whole room is full of fruit flies. Knock on wood, I hope that stays like that. But no, we haven't had that issue here. So maybe that's a bonus of living in a drier, hotter climate. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with the dry than the super wet, man. So I give you props for being out there in the swamps.
The swamps with the gators,
This.
Yeah.
the gators
With
and
the gators.
the pumas. That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
You ever been to
I
Florida,
just
Chad? You ever go down there?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time. I used to go to Orlando, but I probably haven't been to Florida in, God, 20 years. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
different, I
No.
imagine, than New Mexico. I've never been to New
Yeah.
Mexico, but like I said,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with geography, and I can
Yeah,
grasp
it's
on.
completely different, man. Yeah, completely different. Yeah, and I think the cool thing now with New Mexico is that we haven't had reptile shows since
I was just going to ask about that.
yeah 2000 and I think
Is
five.
that a state thing?
Um,
Is that a
dude, I won't turn this into a political conversation, but yeah, it's always a state thing. And I don't know if it had to do with taxing. I don't know if it had to do with people doing bad things that shows here. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why they axed it back then, but finally, as of last year, they brought the shows back. So I'm
no shit?
finally, yeah, dude, because that was really hard for me.
Yeah.
Is I didn't have that outlet, and shipping. I wasn't into shipping, especially back when in the early, mid 2000s, like, so I didn't really have a local source other than like some pet stores and some Craigslist stuff and some local things because we didn't have the shows available. But now, as of last year, they're open back up. So I did my first show in New Mexico last year, and the next one is this May, and then they're doing another one in October. But it's man, it like changed the world. I was like, man, I feel like I'm part of the community again, because I was kind of on my island, dude, and nobody would nobody would let us hang out. So it's been cool to be part of the community in New Mexico again because it's like starting from scratch. um,
nice.
and so like there's a lot of people I didn't even know did all kinds of stuff. And it's like, oh man, like I had no idea there was four other like really good new cow breeders that live in the same city, and I'm like, oh dude, like we need to connect. And just like that, like in Florida, I'm always jealous of you guys because I feel like everyone lives in Florida, man, or the South. Like everyone's in like the Carolinas or Georgia or Florida. It's like, yeah, I need to move.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
so
so we're
so you
getting it
got
back.
so you have a nice strong new cow community out there.
I mean, from what I've seen, I'm not alone. I thought I was just like, I know there's one down south, like 3.5 hours from me, but other than that, I was like, I don't know if anybody else does this. Like, I'm sure there are, but like, I've never seen anybody on Palm Street. I've never seen anybody on Morph Market. I've never seen anything, minus the one guy that's down south, Savachko, and he has some nice stuff too. Um, but yeah, so it's nice, dude, to kind of that's what I wanted, right? Is like a community, and I always felt like, man, how am I gonna travel? Like, I'm never gonna be able to do a show, unless I spend how much to ship them to your house, Mark, and then I fly out to Florida and like it's just.
Yeah,
But now I
yeah.
can
How
drive
close to FedEx
30
do you
minutes.
do you have a FedEx that's fairly close?
Oh
Is it
yeah,
anyone that takes reptiles? 'Cause I didn't know that until I learned the hard way. I had planned to go ship something, and I was like, "Oh, sweet." Live in a town that I'm not from, and I don't really explore this town much. But I went to this
right.
other FedEx, like I could just ship from any FedEx, and I was close to the
Eh,
last pickup at 6:30. It's probably like 5:45. They were like, "Yeah, we don't do live animal shipping." I'm like, "I ship from FedEx all
oh
the time in Stratford,"
yeah,
and they were like,
yeah.
"Yeah, well, that's not every place does that." I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh man, yeah. No, we have one. Yeah, there's one in Albuquerque that does all of the live everything. So we're good
Is
there.
that where you are, Albuquerque, New Mexico?
I'm just outside of it.
That's
Yeah,
like the
yeah. I'm
biggest.
in.
Is that like that's one of the bigger cities out there, right?
It's the biggest city, yeah, in New Mexico. I'm right outside of it. Where I live, there's like 8,000 people.
Sweet.
But I'm like 20 minutes from Albuquerque. I grew up in Albuquerque. and I was a fireman there for a long time, and I don't want.
Thank you for your
I did.
service.
I did. Yeah, yeah. I did my time with the Alba Crazy crew, man. Like it's got a bad rap, and now I live in
Really?
peace, dude. I live in silence and space.
What do you do now, if you don't mind me asking? What do you do for a living? Did you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
from that? You retire, or you just
No,
switch?
I left after 13 years. About 10 years ago, I started a real estate company. So yeah, like most firemen, bro, you got to have two jobs because you just didn't make enough. I didn't, to kind of support everything. So I started a real estate company 10 years ago. I did both. And man, I was super blessed that I had the opportunity to pick which one I wanted to do. And the real estate game was way more lucrative and better for my life, man. And I see my kids every day and my wife and my life. My
God
health is
bless
better.
you.
Everything's better, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
God
It was
bless
a great
you.
time when I was young, but yeah. So now, dude, just real estate and geckos.
That's awesome. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
go
So
wrong
it's
with real
been,
estate,
it's been
man.
good.
Definitely,
Yeah.
you're never gonna run out of demand for homes or land. I'll tell you that much. And they're not making
Man,
any more land. That's for sure.
n-
So,
totally. I agree. Yeah. No, I agree, man. But yeah, for now, I can't quit everything and just sell geckos. I don't think that's in the cards. Maybe if I set myself up, when I'm 70, I'll be doing this, dude. I want to be a crested gecko old man, one of the
all
OGs,
right. Are you
See if I
working
can
with any
make
other
it.
species, by the way? Do you work with you work with other? You actually, yeah, I
Uh,
saw you had some beautiful Chihuahua. Yeah, so you
yeah,
are.
so I have some Chihuahua. I have, man, my saving grace at my
Yeah,
first show
love
is these morning geckos, dude. I didn't like.
again, Mark,
I
again.
told everybody I was like, next show I'm just gonna bring 1,000 morning geckos.
That's
Like
great.
they
We're
were,
talk about them
man,
every.
and like they were. I don't know why. Maybe because of the size, or you can mix them with other species in their tanks and stuff. They have a lot of uses, and they're super cool. But yeah, yeah. So I work with them. It was never really an intention. I think I got my first collection from LAC Herps from the Gilpins. And then like, dude, they just explode. And I was like, man, I got all these cool lizards and I couldn't keep those things for longer than 10 minutes at the show. You put them in 2 or 3 packs for 80 to $100 and they're freaking gone. Um, I do have some Uris, this season. I don't know if I will do any of them yet. I have some God, I always say it wrong, but Vallarde or Velarde.
Uh,
Um, I don't know.
tomato,
People say
tomato.
it both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Velarde.
I've got some groups of those. I'm just waiting. I like to wait a little longer before I pair stuff. It just makes me feel better. Um,
I want to talk more
like
about those too when you're done with
yeah,
this. I want to go back to the Velarde, but don't I
yeah,
want
yeah. But that's it. So yeah, cresteds, the Chihuahua, and then the morning geckos, and then I have just a pet lychee because I love them. I don't want to breed them, but I just love them because they're beautiful and yeah. But I have no intention of breeding those as of right now. Those things, I don't know. I'd have to build a bigger shed or another one.
Oh, the Velarde. So you haven't bred the Velarde?
Not yet. Nope. I
Oh,
have yeah a smaller pairing. So I have 4 females and 2 males. And I'm just waiting for them to put on another size, a little bit more size. So maybe later start this season or beginning of next season. But yeah, I've always stuck with crested geckos, not because they're popular, not because they trend, just because they've had a soft spot in my life forever. And I love working with them. They're awesome. I love that everybody can hold them. My kids love them. they're just they're great for education. I don't know how many show and tells I've done, right? Like you go to a kid's school or whatever, and it's either I'm either bringing geckos or ducks or chickens. So it's like, yeah, I got a box full of chickens or ducks, or I'm bringing geckos to show all the kids. So I think they're versatile and they're a great animal for young people to get their feet wet if they have a fear of that stuff too.
that's
What
awesome.
are what are you working with the crested geckos? This is the perfect time to discuss
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, dark stuff as you've seen. That's been kind of, I guess, the thing that I've really tried to perfect the most as of the past couple seasons is the super dark base empty back stuff. I just love it. I'm trying to get those as clean as possible. This year I did pair up some of that super dark stuff with some cap stuff just to experiment with the colors. I know that's kind of cheating, right? So I'll be sure to label them as, hey, this is the cap black, like there's a difference between that cap influence.
You don't always. I mean,
Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't know, it's an experiment.
they don't always come out super black because they're paired to cap. It's crazy.
Right. And I guess it's going to be kind of a learning curve. Like that one on the very, very top on the left, that, yeah, that one. Yeah. So like that was kind of what I was shooting for, like at least in my mind, right? Like I'm like, I have this image.
That's nice.
And that thing's young. That thing, I don't know how many grams, probably 14 to 16, somewhere in that range. And I've got a handful that look real similar to that one. So I have four more groupings this year of the same male, but darker female. And so we'll see kind of what that throws. The crazy thing with the dark base stuff, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, is like that guy, his mom is like almost like a white lavender.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
lavender
So
is just typo black, from what I gather. Lavenders are
right.
just typo black-based animals.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think people have a misconception, myself included, especially when I first started kind of getting back into stuff, was like the darker everything is that you pair together, the darker everything's going to get. And I've learned that that is not true.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Some of the
Yeah.
darkest animals that I've got, like the mom almost is, like looks like that hypo, really, really light lavender. I'm doing
lavender pair that makes the darkest animals I have.
Yep. It's crazy. Yeah. And it's like the stuff that you learn, right? So it opens your doors too, because maybe you can find an animal at a better price that doesn't, exhibit that, that phenotype of being super, super dark in person, but they're going to pop stuff like this, right? And that's kind of what I've learned. I'm like, man, like you would not have guessed it if you would have saw the parents. The dad was pretty dark, but man, I don't know what combined to make it so dark, but it's working.
Get that face pattern, man. Nice.
Yeah. And I've got some really cool dark base empty back stuff with some tangerine mixed in there, which I love. That contrast is crazy.
Sure.
I love red lilies. I love phantom red lilies. Those are probably one of my favorite animals. I haven't posted a lot of them, but I have some beautiful. Yeah, I have one guard. So I'm working with some really pretty stuff for the red phantom lily whites. I think it's one of the prettiest looks in a gecko. That's just me. I have a lot of triple X extreme stuff that I'm going to be releasing. And I love just really high contrast. So I don't know kind of the best. So if you look at the very, very first gecko I ever posted, I think at the very, very bottom, his name's Dirty Crunch. My kid named him.
That's awesome.
But I just love kind of it almost has that guy. It almost has like a 3D look. And he's half fired, misfired in that one. But I just love that kind of that really 3D looking stuff, if that makes sense. So high contrast.
Sure.
I guess it would be, textbook would be like extreme Harley mixed with those kind of rich colors that makes everything kind of pop. So I've got, oh gosh, probably 14 animals, 14 babies from him growing out that look really similar to him. I've got some Super Dow stuff in the works. I have, let's see, I don't have any frat pairings. I haven't broken into the world of exanthic stuff, sables. We'll see if I do. They don't captivate me a lot just yet.
That's a cool.
That guy's beautiful.
Yeah. Just saying that, yeah.
Yeah, and beautiful structure. I love that big diamond arrowhead.
I love it. Right before they flop.
Yeah, and
the
the super flop. Yeah, I don't really have any animals. Maybe one female that had that that I didn't produce, but it's got kind of a funky look. But I love lily white, man. Like I guess maybe that's like a rookie thing that I'm still in love with. But
must still be done with lilies, bro. Like
Dude, I love lily whites. Like, I don't care. I don't think I'll ever get sick of them. Like, they
Yeah.
just make everything. Yeah. So there's like an example of kind of the pieces that I harvest up at my property, and then I break them up, or like that piece I put in like my Chihuahua enclosures, or my
Oh,
lychee.
shows
Uh,
sell it.
Dude, it's beautiful. And it's super hard, and like I don't really have issues with fungus, mold, nothing like that. Obviously, I sanitize them really good and bake them and heat them up and make sure they're
Sure.
good to go.
Last time I checked, there were no cork trees in New Caledonia, but
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're yeah, probably not. But I have tons of that stuff, piles of it, so unlimited. Um, and then I have some super high coverage lily stuff that I'm working with this year. But yeah, man, I mean, I love extremes. I guess that's just the old school look that I like, right? Extreme Harleys, lily whites, they never get old to me. And just making them better every year is kind of what I'm looking at. Super dark based stuff. I'm trying to create some dark phantoms. I know, Mark, I think we've talked about that a little bit.
I'll go to him in a
Uh,
second. What's up with this girl, Chad? What are you doing with her? I have a
so,
pair with her that would make mind-blowing babies.
s- so I don't, so I paired her, and some of the pictures up above are actually of her babies. Um, I think that's Kahira. Sorry, my eyes aren't great.
This one,
But so that one I got from Brian at Sundown. I didn't produce that one. And so that one's going to be for next season or the season after. But I only have two pairings of Kahua for right now. I'm going to probably double that. Um, but I like to start small. I just like, all right, let's test the waters, like get my feet wet in that and make sure I was doing it right and didn't have any issues. I know Kahua can be a little harder to pair, like their bonding process is a little different than crested geckos. They can be a little more aggressive, stuff like that. So I was just kind of feeling all of that out.
got 13
Um,
pairs, and only
yeah,
one gave me a problem. And
nice,
I don't know, she's weird. She's like an obsessive goose. Like, you ever see those geese
sure.
attach themselves to a person in the house?
Yeah,
She thinks she's a, I don't know, like she gets like I'm her guy. She will not let another male around her.
right. Oh my gosh.
Why
But
only one guard?
Just the
Why
house
only
you
we're
one
know,
guard?
talking about, guys, for all the people
yeah, yeah.
who
There
know,
you go, man.
about
That's a
dope.
tough shed. Yep.
Dope.
So
So cool.
tough shed build. It was the easiest for me. Dude, I love tough sheds. Like I am all about them. And so that was the 16 by 14. And then obviously I had to do all the electrical,
Do you have
all
any
of the
pictures of the
insulation.
inside? Do you have any pictures of the
You know
inside?
what? So do that video. See,
There we go. Sweet.
yeah.
Just for our
And
viewers
that,
to see it. We talk so much
yeah,
about
yeah.
it for people to see.
So this was bare bones. And that was before the mini splits. Yep. Yep. Those are just LEDs. Yep. All LEDs. So obviously, you got to consider like insulation, drywall, flooring,
Sure.
electrical. Yeah, if you got to run electric, all of
Did you
that
run
stuff
any
is just stuff
special
to
R rating
consider.
for your installation? Did you use anything different than your regular R36, or what do you use
Oh
for?
man,
Well, what do your building
you
codes are
know what?
probably so different out here that I would sound like a moron even talking about.
Yeah, no, you know what? I want to say it was around that. I don't remember, but it wasn't anything crazy. It was just kind of the standard stuff. One thing I would have done, so if anyone's curious, with the flooring, I would have before I laid all my flooring, I should have insulated that better. Um, just because, like,
Are
I
you on a
had to.
pad? Did you put that structure on a pad, or you just have it on block?
No, I just did it on crusher fine. So I did like a 3 or 4 inch crusher fine. Like I tamped. It took me like 2 months just to do the pad. So I
Sure.
made like my homemade pad, right? And then I just did a really thick layer of crusher fine, and then they have the bolted screws that go around the whole structure that keep them in place. And so hopefully no settling issues. We'll find out, I guess, when the doors don't open or close. But as of now,
Oh,
knock on wood, it's been all right.
straighten that
Yeah.
building right up if you had to.
Yeah, it'd be fine. But I would have insulated the floors better. So in the winters, the summers were fine, but I could feel that, man, that ground was cold. So I built platforms that raised everything off the ground. So I didn't have, say, my first bin just resting on the floor, if that makes sense. So I raised it up maybe a foot. That way that direct temperature wasn't,
How
affecting
cold
that
is it?
bottom row of animals.
I know we talked about
So
the
yeah,
temperature.
yeah.
How cold does it
In the
actually?
winters, I mean, I would say average is like, man, it can range from say 20 to 30 for the lows.
Really?
Yeah, there's some charcoal projects. I paired those guys up this year, not together, but with different animals.
Why are they related? What that looks
So,
weird to me.
yeah, so I couldn't tell. So I didn't produce those. Those I forget. I don't even remember who I got them from. I think maybe Altitude. But they're incredible, and he doesn't have lineage, so I didn't want to roll the dice. So I was like, all right, I'll just completely separate them because I just didn't want to go down that road. But so they're paired up this year. One's a male, one's a female, and I have.
Should I put them together?
Let's see. You know what? I think I paired one of them with a red Phantom Lily White because I was curious what that would make
Me too.
with that charcoal. I think Mark that I was like, well, maybe I'll pop out some super dark phantoms. It may not work at all. We'll see, but I think they'll be beautiful regardless.
You did though. You
Put
did.
any of your dark charcoals to anything red?
I don't know what you're talking about. The yeah. I definitely have.
See, this is shit that gets me off, boy. I could stare at this thing all day. This was
that's a
I
beautiful
know.
color right there. That's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know,
Those are
and
the ones I
I
like,
love them.
man.
I know.
Those.
I guess I'm like the white. I guess the bee's knees in the Kahua game, right? And I am not a Kahua pro, so I don't know. But it seems like that super high white coverage is kind of the big ticket. At least when I see that stuff going for 10, 20, 30 grand, I'm like, God dang, man.
It's like crested gecko trends too, though. There was like a good 6 years that everybody and their mother bred for high white. If you
Right,
went out and bought animals and wanted animals without white, you will produce animals with white because of how saturated they that gene is in these lines in these animals, man. It's
right.
I go above and beyond to make colorful animals without collars, and I produce animals that have 40
Crazy white colors.
white coverage, dude.
Yeah,
They're cool, but it blows my mind. I'm like, this is not what I wanted. It's
right.
that gene is plugged in there, and it's actually, in my opinion, relatively easy to produce with what everyone did for so many years. They set us all up
Right.
well, you know.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm learning. I've been more drawn to, at least with the Chihuahua stuff, is kind of just that like almost like oil painting look, if that makes sense. So like the purples and the reds and the greens and the man, I find those just they look like a piece of art. You hold them and it's like, man, this is beautiful.
When they have all of that color, right? All
Yeah,
of that,
it's
it's
beautiful.
like a
But even the ones that
camo.
don't, like the plain green ones, I love them, man. Or
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
pink
yeah,
ones.
totally.
Think about them and what they evolved to blend in with. I mean, it's even more impressive. You look at them in the forest, and you're like, damn. And I've said this before: ecosystems don't evolve to animals; animals evolve to specific ecosystems. So these animals have evolved to look like lichen and moss and leaves. It's just mind blowing. And every bark, everyone is different. You look at a mainland on a piece of oak, dude. It's like trying to find a leaf tail.
Right. It's true. Yeah, you can't even see them. Yeah, they blend right in. No, they're beautiful. So I'll probably continue to grow the Chihuahua project stuff, but on a smaller level. Oh yeah, that's just fly. Sorry, I'm an avid fly fisherman as well.
Oh,
Right,
nice.
let's go.
Yeah, so yeah. So if I'm not doing this stuff or working, I'm usually on a river, and we do have some good rivers that aren't too bad up here.
Trout. What do you?
Yeah, so browns, yeah, we have a lot of browns. Browns are typically native, and then some rainbow, and then we'll get cutthroats up in certain areas in northern New Mexico, closer to Colorado.
I love it. I've caught just about everything on a fly rod, at least in
Yeah,
freshwater. I throw a 12 weight and sound out here for striped bass, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, that's one thing. We don't have a lot of water, so that's a raging river you're looking at right there. Um, no, that's yeah, but no, dude, we have small water for the most part.
We
But
got
yeah, dude, that's
out
just
here naturally occurring tigers.
yeah,
Obviously brooks, rainbows. I mean, caught
man,
for
that's awesome.
my whole life. I've been catching them all. I just put.
Right.
I'll send you a picture later, but I just caught a. I put a picture up of a. I didn't put her on a scale, but probably 13-pound rainbow I caught.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, we're typically up there you're looking maybe 8 to 12 inches on a good day, you know. Bigger water stalkers, you know, if you're in deeper water, you can pull out some bigger ones. But yeah, I mean, that's a good image of kind of the mountains of New Mexico right there. And then
Nice.
we get some different topography in different areas. It's a little more like Colorado, you know, little steeper peaks and stuff like that. But yeah, just different world, man. Yeah, dry and beautiful.
That's a rainbow.
Oh, let me hit it. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
She was a
Oh
heavy
yeah.
girl. I got her back in.
Oh yeah.
She's alive. She swam off. She's fine.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no, I throw everything back. Yeah,
Man, I
I
caught
don't
that
eat
girl in
anything.
like a backyard river, bro. Like a place
That's where they are.
where walking dogs, you know?
Yep, that's where they're at, man, hanging out in the weirdest spots. Oh man.
We could go on for hours about fly fishing.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Mark
Yeah,
is
for sure.
we go down there and catch tarpon, bro. Catching a tarpon on a fly, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, oh man.
Yeah, but no, it'll be a good year. I'm dialing in. I'm gonna start narrowing down just kind of what.
Bro, of course, you got some serious potential here. What's
Yeah,
this?
and
I saw
I
this
think
earlier.
every
What is
year
this?
that it'll just be. That's a belt buckle with my logo.
Really badass, dude. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I had my buddy. He owns a like a laser engraving thing, and he made a bunch, and I took him to the shows. Just kind of like little swag. Yeah, little belt buckle swag, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, that one's beautiful. I didn't produce that one. I can't. That may have. I forget who that came from, but that one's paired up this year. But she's man, yeah, like that.
Did you go with this? What did you put? Is it her? What did you put her with?
Yeah, so that one is paired to a red phantom porthole male.
This guy probably.
Yep, that's him. That's Chalupa. Yeah, I got him from Pino, from White Tank maybe 2 years ago. So he's got
Andrew, what up, brother?
he's got a few spots, but dude, he's beautiful, and I know Andrew had some good success with him, and I kind of wanted to carry his legacy moving forward. So I paired him with that Red Phantom Lily. So we'll see kind of what pops out.
Is this the same girl fired up?
Yeah, that's her fired up. Yep.
Would this be considered a phantom?
I think so. At least from my understanding. And I don't know, Mark, what do you think? But yes.
Mark knows all this shit. Is this?
I
Would you
don't.
consider this a phantom?
Yeah, that's the same one that you showed unfired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fired pink, pale. This right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same one. Yep.
Yep.
And one thing I've learned last season is that so many reds are carrying the phantom gene. Oh, and I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I know there's some controversy or questions if there's a thing called het phantom, right? But man, I had a lot of pairings popping out phantoms. Yeah, like it's like, man, this is het phantom. I had like 3 groupings last year where they were popping 90% of red phantoms, you know, and I'm like,
it produced phantoms.
yeah.
It's not even a question.
So for anybody watching too, if you're pairing reds, you might start popping out some really nice phantom stuff that you weren't expecting, because that happened to me. So
You know why?
no.
Because people are not labeling their stuff as het for phantom.
Yeah, because I had no idea it was like a red extreme harlequin, right? Like didn't look like any expression of phantom at all. And then it's like, man, like they're making phantoms like crazy. So now I know, and now I can, kind of
Hmm.
carry that lineage through. But yeah, so there's kind of my first Chewy babies as they
How
started
badass was
popping
that,
out.
kid? How badass
Dude,
was that? It's a
it
different ball
was,
game when you hatch a Chihuahua.
dude, it was a good day, man.
Oh,
I
life
remember
changing.
that day. My wife was making fun of me, because I was more excited about seeing stuff like this than I do like at a good day at work, right? Like I can do whatever at work and have a successful week or month or, and I'm like, dude, nothing makes me happier. And she's like, you're never this happy in real life, and I'm like, look at this. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like, it brings me so much joy.
Are you
That's
breeding
my
Lucys
pet,
too?
Lucci. Nope.
Oh, just a pet.
No, that's a
No.
pet. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, not
What's
now.
up
I have
with
not.
what's up with the gargoyle? You're not interested in
Oh,
breeding
dude.
gargoyle?
So that was a Palm Street. I think we've all had those days where I had an impulse buy because I had already gotten a couple animals, so I wanted to just
Garden.
add it in, dude. And that's from Tiki. Yeah, it's from David. So I spent a good little penny on that one, and dude, you should see it now. It is beautiful. It's a female. So I don't know if I'll try and sell it at the show, or if I'll just get a nice red male, dude, and I'll have one guard group.
You have a variety on your table, bro.
I think you're right. Yeah, and I think that was my intention, and then I just got sidetracked.
You're having herds, so you got a heads up on them. Having
Yeah,
something like that to start with. Jeez.
I know, and I sometimes I spend more money than I should.
Hey, who's to say? Huh?
I'm like, yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, so I think I'll get another male for her and just do one grouping, man. Keep it small and see how I like
One
how I
pair,
like it.
guards, bro.
Dude, let's do it. Yeah, she's just hanging out, getting fat and healthy and happy, and she's beautiful. But she's just riding solo, so I'll have to get a male for her. I've been debating, so we'll see. Maybe this is the year. She's probably got another year before I pair her up. So I haven't been in a huge hurry, but
Smart of us too,
You got
right? We're
time.
planning for years down the road. We're
I
pairing
dude,
them now so we can pair them to other animals we have in 3
yep.
years from.
What I was gonna say. I've got 3-year projects right now where, and like I mentioned earlier, like this is a marathon industry, man. And then when you get there and they start producing, there's no guarantee that when you start producing that stuff you love is going to be well received or popular in the market at that time too. So it's like you can't really predict it. It's like, well, we'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna love it, and then it might take another year or two after I produce them for the market to catch on.
Is this a lily chat or is this just a
Yeah,
badass tricolor?
that's a lily. Yeah,
It is.
that's yeah. I have some beautiful offspring from her
Yeah,
from last season.
beautiful herself. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, she's incredible. Yeah, so I have a bunch of her babies that I'm going to be releasing. So I haven't shipped at all. So everything that I've sold has been at shows and local. So this year is going to be my kind of big reveal. And I know, Mark, we talked about it a little bit too. That was my setup from the last
Oh,
show.
that's
Love
not
it.
even technically a tablecloth, is it? What is that?
It is a table covering.
Goes all the way
I'll
around.
send you I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, they're stretch fits, and then I have two of these that are behind me that are there as well. Man, and that company was fantastic that I worked with.
I see you got these. Who's made these? Titula? Who made the
Uh,
oh
who did I
no,
get? The
Harmony.
Gecko Harmony. Yeah, yeah,
Harmony.
yep, yeah. So I had one of the stadiums, and then those smaller things are just cupcake racks. Um, yeah, and it looked good. So I'm getting ready for the next one in May, so I'll be there.
What animals do you typically take to a show with you?
So the first show I brought 40. This year I'm going to try and fit 60 on that table if I can. I may have to rearrange. We'll see. I think the last show I sold 19 animals in the 2 days, which I have no idea if that was good or not for me.
Percent of what you bought. Why not?
I was happy with it. And for the first show in Albuquerque again, I wasn't complaining at all.
Jeez, this animal is insane.
Yeah, that's Enoch.
Fudge.
Yeah, that's Enoch. He's paired up. I actually just got eggs from that pairing this morning from him and the
Now
female.
this, what's your goal with that? What are you doing here? He's fire all
Yeah,
the way around, man.
yeah. That's my goal is just as high coverage lily white as possible. So I paired him with a super high coverage, just normal. I guess it'd be an extreme Harley, just kind of that paper white coverage on the female. Not a lot of base color exposed. So I thought that that would make a really
So
beautiful
you haven't had any productions from him. What do you this
two eggs.
highlighter gene here?
I know. I'm
what do you
curious
know
what that's going to happen.
because Mark and I we also work with it and we have our theories, and it may not be your best idea if you want high white coverage with I believe tangerine influenced highlighter situation here.
Right. Well, we'll see. I think anything high coverage out of both of them is going to be awesome. I'm
Trying to make him again, Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, that guy. I've grown him out. I bought him as a probably 6 gram hatchling, and I've been waiting 2.5 years. So it was an exciting day. Finally, I'm like, all right, cool. And then
Where he came from?
that's AJD. Yep.
Shit.
Yeah. So that guy's from AJ. Um, and then the female.
Something, brother. Yeah, I'm curious to
I
see what
forget.
you happened to. Do you have her up here?
I don't believe I do. I can send you a picture when I go back to the gecko spot. Yeah, man, I didn't produce that, but I I don't even want to say how much I paid for that animal, but I thought it was too good to not buy.
Now you got to tell us, bro. How much?
Yeah, so I got that for $200.
What?
Hey.
And I thought that that was a steal, so I was like, I guess I'll get it.
One I paid 600 for as a hatch.
I know, and it was one of those things, yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to start working with Fraps, which, yeah, and he'll be a next season male, yeah, because he's still a little underweight, so I'll wait till next year for him.
He's
Damn.
But
developing a dude too, man. He's beautiful.
Yeah,
Knockout.
and I produced a handful of Fraps last season, but man, I don't know if you guys worked with Fraps at all, but they're more of like the purplish Frap. I don't know if that makes sense, but they have that purplish hue. Not like this. This is, I feel like, a different something, but the ones that I was popping out that I have that are growing out, they're beautiful, but they're a lot lighter, almost more translucent.
Did you post on it?
I don't know. Nope.
Well,
I need to be better at posting.
You ain't lying. Yes, you do. You need to post more.
Man, and this is such a small look into everything that I work with.
I mean,
but I have some
about all of these things, dude.
Yeah.
I'm curious about all of these. I want to see
Yeah.
what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I'll post some of the fraps that I made, and I have a bunch of really nice caps that I popped out. I'm really proud of some of the triple X lines that I worked with last year. I love extremes. That's one of the ones I paired this year to a triple X female. But yeah, it's I'm going to start doing all the professional photography. I'm lazy, man. I'm the worst when it comes to that. I'm just
pictures,
it's another hobby. It's another hobby.
Yeah, it's like, all right, now I got to build another room for photos. But I love just extreme stuff like that. Super clean.
It's crazy.
Good structure. I have a bunch of babies from him. That's Jet.
Did you produce him?
Nope, I didn't produce them. So I'm finally in the season now where pretty much everything that's going to be coming out is going to be my stuff. So it's starting from scratch, man. It's like you got to start with the base, and then it just takes year after year. So I'm slowly getting there. But now this whole next season, hopefully the vast majority of stuff will be my productions mixed with a few other things. But it just takes time.
What's your main project? Like, if you had to pick one, what do you like the best?
The jet black empty back stuff. Yep.
Have you seen those from Jet Black? Have you seen the ones from
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I believe the Instagram is called Jet Black, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I'll check it out.
And yeah, they're out in Korea.
Oh, dang. Okay. Gonna start. What's that website? Fetal? Is that the international shipping thing?
Yeah, that's. I don't even know honestly if they sell of import export type of deal.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled much in the out of the country. I got some stuff from Canada. That's as far. I think that was Northern Gecko.
But yeah,
Yeah, and that's where my caps started from. So all the cap stuff that I started with, most of it came from Northern Gecko up in Canada. Um, but yeah, man, I
yeah,
love
it's Jet.
the jet black, no pun intended if that's somebody's name. Just the super dark base, clean, empty back, and then red phantoms and red phantom lily whites and the triple X stuff will be kind of my go-to this year. So I'm gonna try and narrow in a lot on that stuff, and I just like a lot of the normal stuff too, and just making them as good as possible.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
there's
Some of
always room
some
for
of
improvement.
some of the morphs is cool, but
They are.
I like a lot of the normal stuff as
Yep.
well.
Like I love, man, a good extreme. Like and tricolors, you mix that tricolor, man. Some of the people out there are just crushing the tricolor game. I love the stuff from. Is his name Mike from Parkour? I
Yup.
really
Oh
like.
boy.
Man, I love some of his stuff. There's so many people that have just beautiful tricolors that I'm just like, oh man, that's what I want to make.
You will be doing it.
Yep. When I'm 50, bro, I'm gonna have it dialed in. You watch.
I'm a firm believer in it. It takes a lot of time, man. It takes
Dude,
time.
yes, this is like I've said a few times, this is the marathon hobby, bro. Yep, it can be a lifelong thing, and I think you'll never get there. You can always keep raising the bar and changing it, which I love. It's part of why I do it. It's like
It's it's
yeah, it never
interesting you
gets old.
say that. I've spoken to people that have been in the hobby 15, 20, 25. I spoke to somebody who was there 40 years, 45 years. Um they're always continuously trying to do the next thing,
Yep.
you know? And I think that's the passion and that's the fun of doing this. It's not the quick, oh, let me do this
No.
and get it. It's the, bro, when I'm 60, imagine the empty backs that you will be producing
Whew.
when you're
Oh
at,
man.
you know what I'm saying? The tricolors that you would be producing.
Right.
Imagine the interview that we would be having when you're 60 and what we're
Dude.
talking about. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, from the nursing home, man, all of us we're gonna we're gonna
Right?
be hoarding the animals next to
Ten,
our
10 bathroom breaks in between the interview. Like, oh,
I'm gonna have a bag, dude. I'm not getting up. I'm gonna be plumbed in with the bag. Oh man. But yeah, man, so super dark stuff. I love it. I love the cap gene. I do work with some of that. So but extremes, man, the red phantom lilies, just phantom lilies in general. I have a couple yellow projects. I'm really excited. Some of the coolest stuff I think I hatched last year was kind of the yellow based lily whites. They have man, I think that they are just absolutely stunning. So I've got some really cool
it's my
kind of
favorite.
sunset stuff. Man, that like
Yeah.
yellowish, orangish hue with that white stripe on the side is just fantastic.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite yellows. The
Yep.
yellow lily whites are my favorite yellows.
Yep.
Produced a few of them last year. I've been watching them grow up, man. I love them, dude.
Yep. They're hard to beat.
I think it's also you don't
Yellow
see so many of them.
Yeah, I got some
So
cool yellows. Too.
Yeah,
it's
and I
interesting.
don't know.
I like
Yeah,
that.
so there you go. That's egg yolk. He's
Very cool.
yeah, I got a bunch of babies from him growing out that are
Are they
fantastic,
yellow?
but
Are they coming
yep,
out yellow?
they're yellow, but they're probably gonna kind of start turning into more of that darkish. It's still yellow, but
It is,
it's
right? I still consider it a yellow.
I do too.
We get like this color.
Yep. but I feel like yellows are hit or miss in the industry. I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but I feel like every time I see people trying to slang yellows, it's hit or miss. Some people,
little squeeze by their cheeks and squeeze them.
I know. Look at them, man. They look like little bulldogs,
They're freaking
like
so
little
cute,
pugs.
man. I love them.
No, they're adorable.
Good blood to start with. You never know, Brian stuff you pop out.
Yeah, and that was, man, getting back into it. It was with everything that I bought. It was like spend the money now. Like invest in quality animals. I know other people have said that, but it's true. If you're going to do this on a level that you want to kind of make an impact and start making animals that that you can sell that are beautiful, it's spend money on good stuff. You never know, you can get a low dollar animal and pop out some nice stuff. But for me, I kind of went all in at the beginning and just went with people who I knew and I trusted and I built a relationship with that had a good name in the game. And I
I
think
mean,
that's,
look
yeah, Mark,
look at that.
dude, some of the most beautiful stuff I made last year was from your, is it Moonstar?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I got it right. So yeah, I had a female at a Moonstar that I paired with a killer male last year. And dude, some of that stuff is coming in fantastic. So thank you.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man, it was worth every penny.
Yeah, you got that frap that you just showed us for 200. That's a
Dude, I don't, yeah, that I don't know if that was widely accepted in the hobby when that was going on. But I could not do it, dude. I was like, all right, yeah, like sure, like I'll get one. Should have bought 10. Yeah, I don't know if it was just people needed space or what, but it was like, man, all right, yeah, I'm not going to see that again until they get super flooded if they do, but
I
beautiful.
mean, I mean sometimes it's like that. You see
Yeah,
what's
dude.
you see a variance in prices with different things. Some person would have had that and sell it for 3,000, and the next person is like, give me 200
Yep.
for it. Like,
Yeah.
it's all beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and
Yep.
this is a game where you can really set your prices to your liking.
Yeah.
Um,
And I feel, and I could be wrong on this because like I said, I haven't started jumping into all the platforms of selling everything. I will this year, so I'll start opening all those doors. But I feel like certain people can get more.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like it's just like, dude, people buy people, like in every industry, um, and they've done it long enough to where they can do that, and I think that's fantastic, man. They've earned it for the past 20, 15 years, whatever it is. They're like, hey, man, if you want one of my animals, you pay more. And the people that really want them, you don't think about it. I know I don't. When I spend money and it's good money and it's from the people I want it from, like it's worth
yeah,
every penny. I'm
yeah,
not looking for some cheap deal from some guy, that's living wherever that nobody knows about, and I'm gonna, I'd rather spend the extra $500 on an animal. That's just me. But
yeah. It's building trust. It's developing trust. Spending your money in the right places. You know, and and that's where it goes back to. This takes time, because on top of you breeding your animals and getting to a certain area, you also have to develop your name, your reputation, your trust, your business ethics. All of these things takes time. You can't just come here today and I'm selling $5,000 frappuccinos, and
no,
it's like
yeah, no,
it's like
doesn't work. Yeah, it's totally, man. And like that's, I guess I'm in that phase now, right? Is I hope to start breaking out into the scene a little bigger and start building those relationships with everybody. And when they see my name on an animal, right, and they see my face or my logo or whatever, that they don't have anything to worry about, you know. And I know, Anthony, you asked kind of who Sandia or what Sandia Cresties is, and I guess that would be it, right? I just want to be another trusted, respected person in this hobby, that just loves these animals and wants them to thrive and wants them to go to good homes. And I want to be a wealth of information for people, I think, when it comes to just people with questions, right? Like, don't feel shy, don't feel scared. Like, hit me up, shoot me a DM. I don't care. Like, I will talk to anybody I don't know everything. I talk to Mark. I talk to all these people because I don't know everything, and I never will. And
I
I don't
always say
have that
when someone
ego.
claims to, that's a big red flag. When someone says
Totally.
they know it all, dude, even the big names, and I'm telling you flat out, I've watched these cats backwalk everything they've ever said. They come out with facts one day, they'll have 500 people believing what they say, and then they'll back their way out of it 2 weeks later. You
Right.
know? So this is an
Yeah.
ever evolving process for all of us.
Yeah.
And to
Totally.
acknowledge that is a huge thing. And I would listen to your advice based off of that alone. Just hearing you say that alone, admitting
Yeah.
you don't know it all and you're still learning is huge, huge, huge.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And I have no pride. I have no ego in any of this stuff. It's I can dial in what works for me, but I want to pick everybody's brain, man, because there's always somebody way bigger and way smarter than me, and I'm good with that, man. Like, let's go have a coffee, let's have lunch, man. Like, let's do whatever, dude. It's funny, Mark, because I do drink Bustelo every day.
Nice. My
That's a
man.
real thing. Yep, dude, it's a real thing, man. And
Grab it
but
when it's
no,
on
I'm glad.
sale.
Oh, there
My
it is,
man.
dude.
What is that
Hey.
called? What is that called?
Oh yeah, the
When you
French
pour the hot
press.
water-
Yeah.
What is it?
French
French
press.
press.
French press. What's
Yeah,
the one where
man.
you put the grinds in the thing and then you just pour hot water over it and it just drips? It's like a something drip.
A pour
That's a
over.
drip.
Pour
Yeah,
over.
pour over.
Yeah.
Fancy
But
shit.
no, man, I just hope to kind of get bigger and better in all the right ways if I can. I have no intention of dominating any space, which I don't think, is in my cards anyways. But I just want to, be a part of the community as much as I can and provide resources for people if I can and beautiful animals, man, that I hope people are excited to see. So this year will be kind of the start of all of that coming out. So um, stay tuned.
So you planning on doing Palm Street, Morph Market, and
Yep.
and
And so I'll jump on all that stuff. I've been watching Palm, man. I don't even want to know how many hours and how many thousands of dollars I've spent on Palm Street. But since day one, dude, since reptiles were allowed on there, I was on it, and I just sit in the shadows, dude, and I listen and I learn and I observe. And I bought some beautiful animals from some people on that platform. But it's been a great spot, I feel like, for information for the most part. And dude, putting a face to names, man. Like before this, like, I mean, social media helps, but like, dude, now you can interact with people, and I feel like that's such a big step forward in that this community is going to change a lot because of how things are sold. Um, and like Mark, like dude, I love watching your stuff. You're hilarious, man. Like you keep me entertained. Like I love your animals, but like you're just a guy that I want to say what's up to. So like but that helps, and people buy people and it's like, man, all right. Yeah, sure. Mark, give me some of your stuff. Here we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. And so hopefully I'll be kind of one of those people as well, but we'll see, man. And I'm trying to even think how we first interacted. I don't even remember, dude. I think we were talking about books, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah.
I think you posted something about reading, and I'm an avid reader, so I was like, dude, read this, and there it is. Oh, dude, it's one of the best. Here's another good one for you. There you go.
Okay.
What is it? I can't really see. It didn't.
Yeah, no, Becoming Supernatural.
Becoming
Yeah,
supernatural.
Who wrote it?
yeah.
Joe.
This one's Joe Dispenza. But I know you guys talk about mindset stuff on here sometimes, and I won't take up too much of your time because I know it's getting late for you guys out on that part of the world.
We good.
But man, like reading all of that stuff, man, like as it pertains to this hobby, as it pertains to life in general, just I'm all about just yep, there you go, man. Yep, see, I think that's why me and Mark clicked, but um it's all about, man, just being good to each other, and I know you guys have presented that multiple times in this podcast on other ones because I've watched it. But man, just keeping your mind right and staying healthy and staying happy and loving and giving back and just being a good person, man. And so when I'm not doing gecko stuff and working on burying my head in how to become a better person, and a better husband and a better dad and all of that stuff, and I think it trickles into everything we do, this hobby included.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the foundation of who you're gonna become in this hobby. When you have those ethics and all of those things put together, those are the building blocks for you to become great instead of the other way around. And you're like one of those types that on the negative aspect, on the negative spectrum. Um, I think that's very important. I wanted to ask you just for the viewers, right? You're about to start Palm Street. You're about to start Morph Market. Is there anything that worries you? Is there anything that you're finding yourself on edge about?
Man, yeah, I guess so. I think I want to make sure that I dial in the shipping process as good as I can. Um, it's just something that I never really had to do. And now that things are going to where they go, I want to be really good at doing that. So I've been doing a lot of research on all of that before just posting, stuff for sale and just like, I'll wing it, I'll figure it out. Like I've been watching so many hours of videos on just making sure I know how to do everything. So that's been a reservation for me, I think, too, is just making sure that I know everything that I can before I start. Hey, man, I got to ship 12 animals, right? If that ever happens, I don't know. But when it does, I will be ready, So I've been kind of just making sure that I have all of that ready to go. But other than that, no, like I love interacting with people, dude. I love talking. I'm good with that. Like I'm excited to get out in front of all those people. And kind of break into that community as well. I'm not really afraid of, I don't know, like the strong personalities or any of that stuff that are out there. I think I can hold my own. I've been around a little while, so I'm not worried about that stuff. But no, man, I think just making sure that I logistically have everything good and set when it comes to knowing what I'm doing before I start shipping animals across the country. And I think I'm ready. So I've been waiting for a while, so I think I'm ready to go. So now it's just going to be doing it.
I
Uh,
think it's I think that's one of the major, like, you're not alone in that boat. There's
yeah,
many, many, many people. One of the things that is very taxing is shipping the animals,
right. Yep.
Um there's a lot of videos on it on YouTube. I mean, you can even call me, but there's many people that have been doing it that could help you with it. But I think that that's something, the what I learned from it, because I was the same way. Just do it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do it, it's gonna be the most nervous thing in the beginning.
I
The
know.
first the first shipment, the second shipment. But as soon as you get it done, and then you go 1 year, I say 1 year
Mark
because
gotta
then
walk
you
me
have the
through it.
experience. You have the experience of the different seasons, because shipping in hot weather is different than shipping in cold weather.
Totally.
So
Yep.
so you go through that fluctuation and the different, and then once you're good, man. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's go.
Sure.
Y-
Sure.
you
Sure.
know?
Yeah. So I'll get to that point, but yeah. So that's been kind of my biggest reservation. But dude, I'm ready. The animals are ready. Everything is at a weight that I feel comfortable with. Um, that was kind of a thing I was waiting for as well, is I didn't want to just hop on and start listing all these tiny animals. It just I wasn't comfortable with it. I know other people are, and that's great.
Oh, it's good for you to see
Yeah,
what you're working with too.
totally.
You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
hey,
like,
you're better off holding on to them so they're 15 grams, 10 grams or something.
yep, yeah,
Well,
and like,
there's different people do it differently. People do it
right,
differently. Some people want to
yep,
sell juveniles and adults. Some people only want to sell babies to juveniles. It's just it's
sure.
it's different. Like,
Yeah, and I think maybe just for now, I like at least waiting until juvenile adult size, just because, yeah, like Anthony said too, like I'm also in this season where I want to see what my stuff looks like, because like a lot of these lines are new to me as well. So it's like, well, I want to give this thing a year because I want to get a good grasp of what these things are looking like. And that means I sell older, more well-established animals. Then great, like I don't mind holding them and feeding them. That's fine.
They go up in price.
Exactly. It's like I'll just sell them for a little higher, and I know they'll be healthy and established and good to go. And I don't want to throw like a 4 gram baby and be like, I think you're good. Like you should be fine. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully you're good. I think you will be.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So when is your next reptile shows in person? Oh, right around the corner.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah. So May 2nd, May 3rd, it'll be in Albuquerque. So I'll be at that one, and then I'll be at the next Albuquerque show in October. They're doing 2 this year. So
Nice. How many people do you think come through the door on those shows? Who runs those
Dude,
shows? Show me reptiles.
yeah, it was a Show Me Reptiles. I don't know the numbers of people that went last year, but it
Do
was
they promote the
busy.
show well? Do they promote it well? Have you do
I
you
th-
hear it on the radio? Do you see
no, you
billboards?
know, I don't recall seeing like billboards or radio ads. I also don't listen to like the like normal radio chat. I always have like Spotify or something else on.
I'm just curious how they promote it.
Yeah,
Out there versus here, if it's anything different, if they
sure.
promote into
They
a
put
different
it. They
audience.
put it on the radio in Connecticut.
New York, they will. Sure.
Really?
Local New York stations.
Wow.
They'll tell you what's going on at the Westchester Civic Center. Sure.
Oh, dang. Yeah. So,
They don't do.
well,
They don't
whatever
do
they
that
did,
out
it
here.
worked.
The big outdoor shows, absolutely. They talk about it on the radio. Sure.
Right.
Well, I
But
don't
yeah,
listen to
so
the radio.
I don't either. Yeah. So I don't know. But last year it was busy, man. And I think just because it is kind of nice because it's the only one. So like I don't know how it is in Florida or Connecticut or it, but like I know when I see all the signs in like Texas, dude, like there's like reptile expos all the time, everywhere. And like here, it's like, hey, it's happening twice a year in this spot, and that's all you get for the whole state. Like we're a big state, man. Not necessarily population wise, but so it's kind of nice because you're like, this is the show. If anyone's coming, it's gonna be this one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm pretty sure everybody is excited about it, being that it's back now.
They were. Dude, it was 20 years, man, and I was getting ready to go like plan all my shows in Denver and in Castle Rock, Arizona, like everything that was 6 to 7 hours for me.
Wow.
That's what I was gonna have to do because I was like, man, that's the closest one I got. But now, thank goodness, it's like 30-minute drive, dude. I can sleep in my own bed. My animals can come home with me. I'm good to go.
Yeah, yeah. At least for a little while, and then you start spreading your wings. So six
I
to
will.
7 hours. That sounds kind of nice for you being able to
Yeah.
get to all those different ones.
Yep. Yeah, we are location wise, dude. Like we're close to like Las Vegas, the big cities
Wow.
of Arizona. Yeah, the big cities of like Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tucson, Denver, all of that. Really, dude, 6 hours and you're there. Yeah. So, or you take a flight and it's 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
no, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so I'll hit those 2 shows this year, and we'll keep rocking, dude. Yeah, hopefully you'll see me on Palm Street, dude, and I hope you chime in and make me feel
For
better.
sure.
You
For
can be
sure.
my support blanket.
For sure. For sure, man.
I'll definitely be there, man. I'll come support you.
Yeah, dude, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I love your style. I love everything about you, man. Your person.
No, thank you, dude.
You have not that you need my saying, but I think you have an incredible future in this hobby. And not only do I think you have an incredible future in the hobby, I think that you're an amazing contribution to the hobby. And that's what
Thank you. Yeah.
understand is what they can get from this as opposed to what they can give. Mark and I are really, really big on trying to give to the community, helping people understand their worth, their value in contributing. And we don't always find that in people, but ironically tonight, I really get that vibe from you that your intentions are not to take, but to give. And that's beautiful in as manly way as I can say without being corny. It's a beautiful
Sure. No, I appreciate that, man. No, thank you. And yeah, I appreciate that. That means a lot because it's kind of who I've always tried to be, and not just reptiles, just in life in general, man. Like
Shows.
I will, I will lose money and give things away way before I start taking from folks, and it's just the way it is, man. But I sleep well, and I like giving back and helping people, and I'll be no different in this hobby, So yeah, that means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a fun journey, and we'll see what happens, man. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'll be texting you guys when I need help. Now, Mark, I'll probably call you. And be like, dude, help me. I don't know what to do.
Call me. Call me,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah, I don't know
Anytime.
what to do.
Even if it's just to talk, the hell with it. I do it all the time. We just talk
Yeah, for sure.
geckos.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's we need that, dude. Just a community, and yeah, whether it's geckos, whether it's books, whether it's life, dude, like we all have all that stuff going on. There's a big world around all of us, man. And while geckos is a big piece of ours, like I think it's nice to have support, man, in all areas, Like, hey, man, you have a bad day, shoot me a text, dude. We'll hang out, man. It'll be good. I'm all about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Uh,
on
I,
that note, like, if there's anything you want to shout out or anything else you want to talk about,
man, I think we've covered it, dude. Sorry I took up 2 hours of your evening.
oh, stop it!
Dude,
That
It,
we can. I could go 3-4 hours, man.
I
Like,
know.
Mark could go until tomorrow if you let him. Mark could
Yeah,
go
I know,
to
right?
Mark could go to entrances and just walk around with the camera following him.
Oh man. No, I'll let you guys go to bed, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but
I
no, man.
appreciate you talking to
Yeah,
you, meeting you, now putting a face to the brand and
yeah.
a
Likewise,
face and personality to it, dude. Again, I meet a lot of people through this, man, but I feel like I made a friend, man. You're a cool dude, man. Super
dude. Thank you. Yeah. No, likewise, man. Yeah. I hope one day we can get together somewhere, dude.
cool.
At
We
some
will,
some show, some conference, somewhere, dude, and we can all
for
just have
sure.
a good time, dude. Like
Where me and
I'm
Mark
looking
met.
forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
All right,
No,
guys. We
thank you
appreciate
guys.
you showing up. We appreciate you supporting us. If you're not following Chad already, make sure you do. Great man, great animals, awesome contribution to the hobby. I would honestly suggest and almost beg everyone to ask yourself what your position in this hobby is. Are you here to take or are you here to give? What can you give the hobby? You don't need to give us an answer, maybe, and if you do want to, drop it in the chat. But I'm curious as to what people feel they're contributing to the hobby. Is it your animals? Is it your intellect? Well, your ability to communicate with others and network and community build? I would love to know, and I'd love to know if people even feel that if I'm right or I'm wrong. Should we be here to take, or should we all not be contributing to this hobby, this passion that we all have in common? Let us know what you think in the chats, guys, in the comments. And
comments.
again, above anything, stay you and stay freaking weird, guys.
Agreed.